Good morning, all. So, today we will be dealing with controlled rectifiers. So, you know that a rectifier is something which convert the device that convert AC to DC. So, what do you mean by a controlled rectifier? So, this is a big. So, you know that the output can be controlled, right? So, normally what we do is, in case of a rectifier, there will be a diode circuit. So, that diode will be conducting in one cycle and it will not be conducting in another cycle. It's positive, it will be conducting, negative, it will not be conducting, and we get the output. But that output we cannot control. So, that's why we use a controlled rectifier. So since you already studied, you know that a control rectifier, it can be an SCR, thyristor, MOSFET, GTO, IGBT, all these things we use as a switch. So it will serve the same purpose as that of a diode, but at the same time, it can control the amount of power fed to the load. So it can control the amount of power, it can control the amount of power fed to the load. So we have an AC voltage source, then the control rectifier. That means it will have a control circuit. That is, we can give the gate pulse and decide when the switch should be on. Like normally, what happens in a diode is it's not a control device. So as soon as we get the positive half cycle, the diode will start conducting. But here in the case, we can give a particular firing angle. So when we do the MATLAB simulation, we'll see that we're giving a firing angle alpha, like 30 degree or 60 degree. So after that 30 degree phase shift only, that phase delay only, we will get the output. So we are controlling how much we need that's what I say. We control the amount of power fed to the load. So load can be, it can be an R load, it can be an L load, it can be an RLE load. We'll come in detail to all these things. So the basic idea is it will be a control rectifier. That is, we can control the output. So example is SCR, that's thyristor, then IGBT, GTO. They all have different classification, like fully controlled, half control. So now just understand that we are talking about the control rectifier, which will be having a control circuit. Okay, so now we'll move ahead. So this control circuit can be of two types, like single phase we have, as well as three phase we have. So single phase control rectifier is there, as well as three phase control rectifier is there. So now we will see in detail. So the classification is like, first one, single phase half wave, single phase half wave controlled rectifier, single phase half wave controlled rectifier. Then we have the single phase fully controlled bridge. So you know what is a bridge? What is the purpose? Single phase fully controlled bridge. And the third one is single phase half controlled bridge. The third one is single phase half controlled bridge. Similarly, in case of a three-phase system, we have three-phase half wave. We will have three-phase half wave. Then we have three-phase fully controlled. Then you know the third one. It will be three-phase half controlled. So it depends upon the switch we are using. Whether we are using the MOSFET or we are using IGBT or we are using GTO. It depends upon whether it will be half controlled or fully controlled. Three-phase half controlled converter. So now we are talking about the control circuit. So you know basically what is a controlled rectifier. Then we convert AC to DC. That is, in a controlled rectifier, we convert AC to DC in a controlled way. So we will get in the controlled output. Then we have the single phase system and three phase system. So now let's see what happens with the single phase half-wave control rectifier with R load. So we have, as I told you, we have R load, RLE load, and then RL load. Everything is there. Now we will see the simple one, that is what happens with an R load. So we have a voltage source, that is AC voltage source, Vs. So we call it Vm sin omega t. Then we have the SCR or thyristor. And you know how a thyristor will work. It's not like a diode. So SCR conducts, when the SCR conducts only when the anode voltage is positive as well as when a gate pulse is applied. So you know that we have done the same in our hardware experiment also. I have shown you how it works. So, and we have the R load here. So I naught is the output current, I naught is the output current, and V naught is the output voltage, IG is the gate pulse. So this is actually the circuit without the control circuit. So I have not shown the control circuit here. So we have a control. IG gate is given here. Okay. Then the source voltage Vs. So from the figure we can see that we have the input voltage Vs, that is the maximum will be Vm sine omega t, and the gate pulse is given as a firing angle alpha. So this is the firing angle alpha. The gate pulse is given as at a firing angle alpha. So you can see that the output voltage is obtained only after the firing angle. So this much delay is given. So in our simulation, I'm taking it as 30°. Okay, and we will see how that 30° should be converted to in seconds and all. So this is the output voltage, and similarly, you know that in case of an R load, the voltage and current are in phase. Okay, in case of an R load, voltage and current are in phase. So the waveform of voltage as well as current will be similar, but the magnitude will be different because I naught is equal to V naught by R. So depending upon the value of the resistance, this magnitude will change. So if you are taking the value of resistance is equal to 1 ohm, then voltage, output voltage as well as output current will be same. I think you got the point. Because of R load, the voltage and current are in phase, as well as there is no drop and all. We are considering ideal condition. We get V output voltage, and this is the firing angle alpha. Okay. So the working is like during positive half cycle, the anode will be positive, and when the gate pulse is applied, the SCR starts conducting and we get the output voltage. And during the negative half cycle, SCR blocks the flow of current and no voltage is applied to the load. So negative half cycle means natural commutation happens. So there will not be output voltage. That's why we don't have the waveform here. Now we will see how to calculate the output voltage, average output voltage. So V output average will be is equal to area by the base. Base means the time period. Area by the base. So we can write integral. Area will be, from here the area will be integral. So this is alpha and this is pi, right? This is alpha and this is pi. So what will be the output? The output will be integral alpha to pi Vm sine omega t into d omega t by 2 pi, right? The base is 2 pi because the next waveform is considering coming after 2 pi only, right? That's why alpha to 2 pi plus alpha. So the base is 2 pi. Base is 2 pi. Now you can do, this is your basic integration only. Vm by 2 pi integral alpha to pi sine omega t. Sorry, this sine omega t sine omega t into d omega t. So I'm skipping some steps of integration. You can write it directly. So it will be minus Vm by 2 pi into cos pi minus cos alpha, which is equal to minus Vm by 2 pi. So you know what is cos pi will be minus 1 minus cos alpha. So we can take the minus outside. So it will be Vm by 2 pi into 1 plus cos alpha. So the average voltage in case of a single phase half wave controlled rectifier with R load is V output average is Vm by 2 pi into 1 plus cos alpha. So what will be the average output current? Just divide that by resistance. So I naught average will be equal to Vm by 2 pi into R divided by R 1 into 1 plus cos alpha. That is Im by 2 pi into 1 plus cos alpha. That's it. So now we found out the average voltage. And there is one more quantity. AC circuit means we should go for the RMS value also. Root mean square value. We output RMS. So since it's a root mean square value, you know this formula you're studying from your first year itself. Area square divided by base. Base is a time period. So integral alpha to pi, you know, it is from alpha to pi only same way. So it will be Vm square sine square omega t into d omega t divided by 2 pi. So now it's your basic integration and other steps, and you have the root also. So it will be like Vm by root 2 pi root of integral alpha to pi 1 minus cos 2 omega t by 2 into d omega t, which is equal to Vm by 2 root pi, Vm by 2 root pi root of integral alpha to pi 1 minus cos 2 omega t. This is root 2 and root 2, I made it 2, okay, into d omega. This is just basic integration only. So as engineering students, you should be very comfortable with the integration and stuffs. So Vm by 2 root pi, sorry, Vm by 2 root pi into root of, so some steps I am skipping. This will be omega t, so pi minus alpha into minus sine 2 pi by 2 minus sine 2 alpha by 2. Okay, so the final answer will be like V output RMS will be equal to Vm by 2 root pi into root of pi minus alpha plus sine 2 alpha by 2. This will be 1. 0. Sine pi means 0. So this is V output, and I output RMS will be just divide that by R. V output RMS by R. And also we can calculate the power delivered, which is equal to VRMS into IRMS, which is equal to VRMS divided by R. So all these things should be clear for you. So what all we have seen? We have seen what is a rectifier, controlled rectifier, then the single phase and three phase, what happens, what are the classifications. Then the first classification, that is single phase half wave controlled rectifier with R load. So in case of an R load, the waveforms, input voltage, the current, then output voltage and output current, then what the magnitude, what happens with the firing angle alpha, everything. Then the output voltage, average output voltage, then average output current, then RMS output voltage and RMS output current. Now what we will see is we will do the same simulation with the R load. We will do the same thing in MATLAB software. So this is actually the MATLAB Simulink interface that I have created. So I have already loaded everything. Same way as we have done the DC to DC converters. So same way you can search for the AC voltage source, thyristor, current measurement, RLC branch. So 0.1 second. So that we can save the time. I will simulate it for 0.1 second. So it's already simulated. So this is what we get in the scope. See the input voltage. So this is the Vm sin omega t 200 230 root 2 we have given. So this is the input voltage we are getting. This is the input voltage we are getting. Sorry, 1 minute. You know that should give. And this is the gate pulse. You can see that there is a delay. It is 30 degree. There is a alpha 30 into 0.02 by 360 degree in seconds. Okay. So this is gate pulse. So you can see that only after an angle of alpha, we are getting the output. So the output voltage, V output is we are getting. So many ads are coming. So this is the output voltage. After 2 pi again, firing angle is there. So same way. You can see the magnitude of the current here. 30 degree only. That's 30 only. 300 by 10 because I gave the output voltage as uh, 10 ohm. So the same waveform which I have explained to you, this is the MATLAB simulation. Okay. So this is the circuit and this is a scope. So I have given the input voltage here, then the gate pulse here, output voltage, output current, everything. Okay. I hope it's clear for everybody. So that's all. This is the waveform. Thank you.